photographs are a totally different kitty.
I said nothing about that.
Let's jump right into it. Welcome back. Welcome. While Sarah Boone dances with the dogs, these dogs aren't blind or deaf, nor deaf. One's blind, one's deaf. 2 Boston Terriers. These dogs that she's dancing with this time are a bunch of bitchs, and they can definitely see and bark. Let's get this party started. Sarah Boone seems to be getting treated the way she treated others at Tillwood apartment. Oh, my puppy is barking. While she ran around Tillwood, slandering George, making him look like such a bad person. His whole family hates me. She has a whole new group of people to worry about hating her now. From what she says, these girls aren't playing with her. She's borrowing deodorant at this point. And on the call, she wants to get former husband's ASS in court ASAP. While he's living large, living la vida loca, he's living large with his son. I bet how many of you think that this is the most freedom Brian's had in a very long time. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. While we are Dockets watching, yes, November 25th will make it officially 90 days that we have been Docket watching. Thank you guys. Shout out to you for hanging out and watching the Docket with me in particular. We have been around and round this case, but today we're going to talk about Sarah and Brian and her entitlement to his funds. She's the wife that constantly calls, "Give me money, give me money, give me money." Projecting much? What I need you guys down in the chat to do is drop a trophy if you're a straight A student, or a toilet, since Sarah can't use a bidet like Brian. No malicious. Sidebar, we are still in Scorpio season, so if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. And Sagittarius, you're up next. Holiday season is in effect. Do you guys have your trees up yet? Are you preparing for Thanksgiving, Christmas? What's going on? What's the plan for the holidays? I don't mean to be overzealous. This is the tip of the tip. New Year's is coming. So we still have Sarah's sentencing date to celebrate. I believe that's December 2nd. We're watching the Docket, waiting for her final motion so she can just go away. And we're pillaging through her calls. She had some journal pages released too, where she was describing her first date with George. Oh, Sarah. Futuristically, negative earned.
He knew George better than I did. I say that I knew George better than himself.
Now, as we pillage through the case, the calls, one thing a few of you have recently pointed out is Sarah never cries. I asked you guys in the comments section, have you guys seen Sarah even have a feeling? Does she have feelings or any emotions? Excuse me. It's raining here in the city. What's for dinner tonight? Sarah doesn't have any emotions. She hasn't even cried for herself. Most of us, we the people, shout out to my straight A students and my scoundrels, we watch body cam, we watch trials, we watch sentencing videos. Sarah she hasn't gotten upset, thrown a chair, shaking her head, cried, grabbed her helmet. Nothing. She has yet to show any emotion. She's moving forward like this is business as usual. Another thing we'll be talking about is Sarah's life up until her incarceration, right? So above you'll see some photos of Sarah in the beginning of her life, from when she was a straight A student with her siblings and Brian. She met Brian at a very young age, and she's been with him for most of her life. So to hear her on the stand say that he wasn't the love of her life, she meant that. Did you hear on the call when she said, "Why do you think I was with him for so long? His family has money." Negative earned. Sarah's has some nerve talking about George's former wife And look at her. She's incarcerated, divorced from this man, still demanding that he fund her lifestyle. Now, it's up for debate how much he owes her. Judge Jackson, where are you? However, we know Judge Jackson will probably award Brian for the 2 years, I believe, that he didn't contest the alimony. He had a side deal with Sarah where he's like, hey, I'm going to pay your storage, your bills. I'm going to take care of your stuff. Move your things out of your apartment. Pack it up. Unpack it. Put it in a storage. I'm going to take care of all of your bills, and that will cover the alimony. Commissary as well. I'm going to put hundreds of dollars on your commissary so you can... Sarah was living large. She's saying Brian's living large. That's why she's upset. She was living large when she was at Orange County, when she was in the jail. She was living large. Brian was putting hundreds of dollars on her book in addition to her fans. The multitudinous amount of fans while she was using the multitudinous amount of features on the call. The phone. Remember, she's like, can you see the emojis? Can you see them? I sent emojis. You can video call. You can send telegrams. You can chat. There's a multitudinous amount of calls. Did you accept one to agree to pay 13 cents a call? Well, yeah, you have to. Yes or no, please? Yes or no? Ma'am, what does this have to do with anything? Well, Your Honor, he's making it seem like it's a big deal, and he accepted the call. So he accepted the 13 cents. Next question, ma'am. Move on. Goes back to her entitlement. She feels like she's lived with Brian. She knows he's living large. Lana has sent her credit card statements. She knows about an alleged $8,000 Uber bill. Go, Brian. $8,000 Uber bill. So she wants in on that. In jail. Well, prison. In closed confinement. And Judge Cranick really had his ducks in a row that day. Back to the phone calls. The way she expects him to pay for the phone calls for the rest of her life, which is her incarceration, her sentence, which she doesn't believe is really happening. Sidebar. I have a quick appellate update for you today. Mr. Maldonado has not filed the appellate brief paperwork yet. Again, update for the appeal. Sarah Boone's third appeal attorney has not yet filed the necessary documents for the appeal. We are approaching 90 days from the 25th. I believe we will be counting from the day of the closing, though. Let me know in the comment. Would the 90 days be from the day of the hearing or the day that the closing arguments were accepted? That would be the second, right? Either way, 90 days is approaching fast, and Josh Maldonado has not filed for her appellate brief, which would give us all the reasons that he thinks, not what she thinks, the appeal should be for. We haven't found that out yet. Maybe he can't find a reason. We know Judge Cranick was surgical. Ma'am, are you happy with your legal defense? Very, as she shuffled papers. Very. I'm very impressed. Very happy. She was there all proud, shoulder pads, helmet on, like a Christian soldier, just onward, ready to battle Judge Cranick. She hit that stand telling lies like nobody's business. But she is waiting, just like we are, for the appellate brief. We are ready to pillage. What reasons could you possibly have? Shout out to my legal people. On a previous episode, I asked, what happens if you don't find a reason? Like, if an attorney doesn't find a reason for appeal, dreadful as it sounds, like, what happens? One of you said nothing. They just tell the judge, we can't find any reasons, and that's it. Sarah would go bonkers. This is her final hope while she's being a beacon of light. Yes, I know. I'm still a shining beacon of light, so that when people see me, they see me shining. We have the appeal. The brief was due today, and we have Judge Jackson which her motion is due in a few days. Those are two things that we are docket watching for Sarah. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Shout out to you guys down in the chat. I don't say it enough, but shout out to Edie Beatty and an early happy birthday. Edie, shout out to my email crew. Edie sent me this lovely email about Sarah's trip to Lowell. And with Brian being approved for his visitation recently, I figured we'll go over the visitation form too. We should take a trip to Lowell and see everything that Sarah passed on her way there and on the way to her doctor's appointment. From Orange County Jail to Lowell, it's about a 1 hour and 23-minute ride. You see here the Florida Pike. This is pretty cool too, and a winery. Let's go to the winery. Hold on. So the nice winery. Quote, personally, the sweet wines made from the muscadine grapes tasted better than the dry one. Beautiful views, lots of tables, shade trees, food, etc. Great place to relax. I'm sure Sarah wanted to break away out of that prison truck or van and, oh, this is beautiful, and go and jump into one of those vats of wine, right? Okay, now we are back on the road. She's passed the winery, up the Florida Pike. What else is around here? Let's see. We are going up the Florida Pike to Lowell Correctional Facility. And we get to see what Sarah saw as she drove to her final destination, the townhome. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to you guys. Leave me some trophies in the chat. All of my straight A students, don't forget. Yes, Brian was finally approved for visitation, so inmates Boone will have something else to manipulate very soon. Yes, please, Your Honor. How do I get to verify that he submitted it? He said he did under oath the last time, and he didn't. And now he says he did this time. Well, ma'am, it takes a time to process. And now it's processed. Oh, Brian. I'm pretty sure he dreads that. He wants to go and watch football on Sundays, as he said in court. We are on this hour ride up the Florida Turnpike. See a lot of land. Okay, hold on. Looks like I see some more stuff Sarah's about to pass. What do we see now? Adamsville, Whitney Villa, a Walmart. Everybody loves Walmart. Okay, nice looking Walmart. I know Sarah, she was a Publix girl, right? She loved Publix. Walmart has self-checkout there. Okay. And this is what Sarah would have passed. Do you have a Walmart in your town? Wherever you're watching from, have you ever been to Walmart? I've never been to Publix. I would love to go to a Publix just because, and go to the wine aisle to find a bottle of Woodbridge. All of the fast food places that Sarah passed. Oh, Burger King. Here we go. Burger King has really good burgers if you're into fast food. If you had to choose Burger King or McDonald's, which one would you choose? The Whopper. Yes. These are American fast food burger places. They're delicious too if you're hungry. I prefer the flame broiled meat and usually the fries. Agree. Oh, that doesn't look too tasty there. Okay, those hash browns, I'd still eat those. Yep, I'd still eat those if they fell in the bottom of my bag. Yep. Okay, now let's keep driving up the road. We are almost to our destination. We have plenty more places to pass, though. Oh, is that a Publix I see? Hold on. Is that a Publix? Yeah. Publix supermarket. All right. Let's see Publix. Yes. Look at the market. This is Sarah Boone's favorite grocery store. A very nice Publix. Great customer service and very clean. Okay, food and pharmacy. You can go grocery shopping and get your medicine at the same time at Publix. Okay. I know Sarah wished she could hop off the bus and go to Publix. She also recently, hey, Starbucks. What is your go-to drink? If you go to Starbucks, what is your go-to drink? Or are you a at-home barista? Do you make your drinks at home? Me personally, I'm an at-home gal. I am an out gal. I have tons of Starbucks cups. I'm more of a tea girl, not into coffee. I love a good milkshake though. Milkshakes, I can make those at home very easily. I have like the Ninja. Okay, what else do we see? Ocala, Burger King. We went to Burger King already. The Riding Academy. What else? It's a lot of stuff around here. Marion County Fair. The fair. That would have been fun to go to. Let's check out the fair that Sarah passed by and she couldn't go to. Fun. What's your favorite ride at the fair? Do you like the Ferris wheel? Do you like to play games? If you went to the fair, what would you do? You just hang around and hold people's bags as they ride and take pictures? What do you do? Had fun going here with some friends. I like the shows at the circus too. Kind of expensive, but worth it. Is that a cow or bull? Oh, the animals. Sarah loved animals, we know, so she would have definitely loved to go to the circus and see these animals. She's quite a clown herself. Oh, okay, so cute. So what are you guys thinking? Sarah took a trip from the prison recently to the doctor to get a procedure done. When she took her ride, she saw all of these things and places in the world, and she had a lot of regret. Not for what she did to George, but for herself, that she no longer, Wendy's, that she's no longer able to enjoy life. Wendy's is another pretty good fast food chain. It's pretty underrated though. What do you guys think? Wendy's is another American fast food place. They have pretty good things. I like their Frosties. I love there it is, their Frosties. I get the chocolate is classic, but I have to get a little bit of vanilla on top. What is this? Let's see. You can never go wrong with a bacon. It reminds me of that prison sandwich that I tasted, the roast beef sandwich. Yikes. Ew, you guys, look at that. It's like nuked. What is that? That can't be chicken. Okay. Yeah, Wendy's is pretty good. I'm pretty sure Sarah would have definitely loved to go there. What else do we have? Wendy's is actually where Charlie Adelson went to eat on his prison ride. Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie is a grocery store? I thought it was a gas station. Okay, Winn-Dixie is also a grocery store. I bet they have wine too. Have you guys been to a Winn-Dixie out there in Florida? Okay, looks pretty cool. Deli. Delicious Delights. What do they have here? Looks like some pastas. Okay. Winn-Dixie has a pretty good deli. Maybe Boar's Head. Looks pretty good. What else do we have? On Sarah's trip to Lowell, we are driving to Lowell Correctional Facility for Sarah's final destination, to the townhome. Bubba Racetrack, the Dog Club, Marathon Gas, Work Camp, Youth Academy. Where else are we going? Let's see. Where else do you guys want to go? There it is, the Florida Women's Reception Center. We're almost at the prison. The Dog Club. Let's go to the Dog Club. I have 2 Boston Terriers. One's blind, one's deaf. I could watch the dog show for hours. I love the dog show. See so many cute little puppies. So many different puppies. I have a little human sleeping in the house. You might hear it breathing. Did you guys hear that? Oh, what are those? Statues? What are those? Okay, different. They have like chains on their necks. They're like fashionable chains. Like Chanel or some nice chains on their necks. Okay, Are those awards that they're giving to people who win? Interesting. I wonder if those could be the awards for the winning dogs. Or are those gifts? What are those? If you are familiar with the dog show, let us know in the comments. What are these? Are they the trophies? I thought they won gold trophies. Drop some trophies in the chat. Thank you guys for all the hypes and the likes too. You don't know how motivating it is for me. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, now we are almost at the prison. Almost there. Zoom! Racetrack. Let's hit the racetrack before we zoom on into the prison. All right. I've been to a racetrack show before. Have you guys? It was actually like a monster truck show. Hey, there we go. There's a little monster truck. This is a monster, well, maybe a monster truck, but it's a race car. Racetrack, you go have fun, watch all the cars race. Have you guys been to a race car show? This is what Sarah Boone would have been able to go to if she didn't commit the crime that she did. So she got to pass by on her way to Lowell. Again, if you're just joining us, we are taking a trip to Lowell Correctional Facility through Sarah's eyes to see what she saw on the way to the facility. Now we are on Gainesville Road. We were first on the Florida Turnpike for a few hours, for about an hour. And now for the remaining 20 minutes, we are on Gainesville Road. And here we are at the rodeo auction house. Okay, beautiful cows. Beautiful Lowell cow. Sarah's such a cow too. Or a pig. No malicious content. Leave a cow or a pig in the comment section. We are animal lovers over here. Let's see what this little piggy is doing. Okay. Oof. Oh, it's huge. This is oh no. Okay, we had to cut that out. He wasn't being so nice to the little piggy, like he was rushing it along. Okay, now this is the auction where Sarah would have passed on her way to Lowell. It's like a rodeo. Looks like fun. Outdoor fun. Okay, where else would Sarah have passed before she got to Lowell? We're almost there, you guys. We are really close. This is also the way that Brian and Little Man will take to visit Sarah, which is why he told her, like, hey, we're moving to somewhere new. Our new house is going to be closer to the prison. And she was like, what? No, that is so cruel. I'm not going to be here for long. And he's like, yeah, I think you are. He was actually trying to be nice and go be closer to her. Okay, we have the facility here, Lowell Work Camp Visitation. Okay, let's see. We have made it. We made it, you guys. We made it to the facility. Let's see. The Florida Reception Center. There's the Fire College. Rescue Station. The reception center is here, and this is where every inmate goes initially when they get there for 90 days to get acclimated to the facility. And there's the annex there. And the work camp. So it's like its own town. Is that barbed wire? Maybe the town is surrounded by like a big metal gate or barbed wire. That looked like a barrier there. But this is the Lowell Correctional Facility Annex. There. And it's a 1 hour and 23-minute trip from the Orange County Jail. And that's the ride that Sarah would have taken to her final home. Shout out to Florida. Okay. Switching gears a bit. Shout out to NK Did It. NK says, I'm tired of waiting for Judge Jackson. It's getting old already. Are some of you feeling that way? Is this 90-day stretch a little hard on you? Is it making you frazzled? Are you getting upset? Well, I told you I found peace in feeling that Judge Jackson is pillaging. I thought it may have been the shutdown, but I think she's really taking her time. What happens if she doesn't come back to us? If she doesn't get back to us by 90 days, I'm going to go down there and knock on the door. We're going to have to send one of you guys from Florida to go and knock on the door and say, hey, Judge, what's going on? Meanwhile, she has her appeal to worry about. Now she has Brian's visitations to control and manipulate and maintain and focus. Let's look at this visitation form and let us know below how you are easing the anxiety while you wait for Judge Jackson's response to Sarah and all of her drama. I lost my dog ate my homework, Judge Jackson. I don't know who did that. I didn't approve it. I didn't even sign that. I didn't tell them to do that. And so this visitation form, of course, we have censored everything. I will read the questions for you and as much as I can. So this is very detailed. They want to know your name, your number, your firstborn child, your blood type. They want to know all of your business before you even go into this. Brian has been roped into her circus unwillingly. He's an unwilling participant in all of this. He's had to spend so much money. Forgive me, I don't want to start ranting. Let's get focused on the visitation form. Okay. Employment, they want to know, have you ever worked for the Department of Corrections? Have you ever been an employee, volunteer, vendor, contractor, anything? List. Brian says no. Have you been arrested or received a criminal citation? Have you ever had to appear in court? No. Did you ever help this inmate to commit a crime? No. Were you ever in prison yourself? No. The next series of questions, former husband had to answer a series of no's. No, 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 no. It just goes on to ask if you were ever imprisoned. If so, list the date, the name, the reason. Are you currently on parole or probation? If so, where and who's your supervisor? It lists if you have a probation officer, the name's number, etc. Brian has none of that. Sarah is the only criminal here. It also asks, who are you and what is your relationship to this woman? He put former husband / father of child. Brian's totally in on the joke. He's like, former husband. It lists her correctional number, her name, Brian's name. Remember, she called him by his full name in court. Brian Calloway Boone. You do know you're under oath, right? Oh, Sarah. Brian's birthday. It looks like Brian is a Taurus. If his birthday is May 27th, is he a Taurus? And Brian is 50 years old. Pretty young. He resides in Florida. All right. Now, that's it. Okay, that's pretty much all of the public information. Brian's name. He's her former husband. He's the father of her child. He's 50 years old. And I think he's a Taurus. Hey, it sounds like a speed dating intro. Shout out to you guys. We are checking up on Sarah's ride to Lowell after she went to the doctor's office to get her 7-inch scar, her procedure. Did we figure out what that procedure could have been? Also, Brian's visitation was finally approved. Oh, let's see. Shout out to Teresa. Let's see when it was approved. It was received on August 25th. That's the same day they were in court. He did say that he had just submitted it that week, so it probably got posted or received that day, and now almost 90 days later, it's getting approved. Interesting. If you haven't heard, Brian's visitation has been approved. Brian's visitation has been approved. New level unlocked. Sarah gets her visitations. She gets a little more control. We're waiting for Judge Jackson, however, nonetheless, to see exactly how much control she gets. Does she get 1 to 2 visits per month? Does she get 1 visit per month? Is it going to be left up to Brian? What will Judge Jackson decide, you know? Sidebar, if you guys are hanging out and pillaging, Classified Crime and Tanika, I believe they have the call logs. Check them out and we'll get to see exactly what happened, who Sarah called after family law, after the trial, and who she's been talking to since then. I love when they go over the call log, especially when Classy says, no answer, like reject. Sarah calls a lot of people, but she doesn't get a lot of answers as of late. We've all been wondering what happened with her and the Australian and New York representatives after she threw them under the bus, right? She was upset with them. She threw them under the bus. Well, I'm assuming she was upset from what she wrote. I didn't approve that. I didn't tell them to do that. Your Honor, there were supposed to be 20 pages in my closing arguments, even though you said only 5. And one of those representatives of mine took it upon themselves to only submit 5, like you said. Or Judge Jackson threw them away herself. Plot twist. And Sarah got mad at her representatives for no reason at all. What do you guys think? I could talk about this all day, you guys. Literally all day. Shout out to Edie Beatty. Like a day, the bidet that Brian had allegedly spent $2,000 on, Edie found it on Wayfair for $1,343, down from $2,009. She says, who knew a bidet could cost that much? Tell me and we'll both know. Again, happy birthday to Edie. Big hugs and kisses, and love you for all the support. And I love all of you guys. The email crew, the replay crew, the like crew, the shout out crew, the share crew. I even saw that you guys share my videos. I was like, wow, oh my God. You know, when you go to the analytics, sometimes you can see different things. I'm like, wow, people are sharing my videos. That is so cool. Even the hypes. This channel would be nothing without you guys. I really, the motivation, you don't understand how much it means to me just to hear your voice. I'll give my life. I would give my life for my subscribers, my mods, the mods. You guys are the best too. Shout out to Carolina. Shout out to all of my mods. Shout out to everybody. Okay, enough love making already. Let's get back to pillaging. I posted in my short section that Brian's visitation form was received. Did I say it was approved? I'm not sure. It should have a seal on it if it was approved, right? However, it was received on 8/25, the day of court, right? So why Sirius says Brian should just bring his son to see her and not say one word to her. If she tries to start begging him for stuff, just walk out of the room. Know that. CL says if he is smart, it's a setup. She will say something to him or a son that will make termination of parental rights easy. She will threaten Brian or try to manipulate son. Ply Webb says, congrats, Sarah. P Webb says, congrats, Sarah, but don't expect any actual visits until Judge Jackson's ruled. At least that's what I do if I'm Brian. Sidebar, exactly. I was wondering, is Brian under any orders right now while Judge Jackson is deciding? Is Brian able to make up his own rules right now, you know, or does he have to go by the previous prior, or does he wait for the futuristic? I'm not sure. If I was Brian, I would wait too. What do you guys think? Should he go ahead, if he is approved now, should he go ahead to the prison and just go along with the visits, or should he wait for Judge Jackson to make a ruling? Good one. This isn't Sarah Boone, Drunky the Bear anymore. There's new levels unlocked now. She's inmate Boone with soap bar deodorant under her arms. Probably very pungent. That's going to be a very, very, very tough visit for Brian. Can you imagine? He has to go. He has to go with his son. He can't let his son go into the facility alone or with someone else, risking Sarah really manipulating him. If she got him alone, she already, according to what Brian says, asked her son to go into a room and close the door privately while she speaks to him. Brian doesn't even know what they're talking about 99% of the time. Root Irish. Hey, Root Irish. Shout out to Root. Root says, Brian was probably hoping to be rejected by the prison. I would. Yes, I was saying if Brian would have got arrested before in the past or had something on his record, that may have been good so that he didn't have to go. Dana says, it's Sarah's writing. Some of you think that Sarah wrote this? Rita says, whose handwriting does this look like? Okay. Irene says, darn it, poor kid. Missy Brewer says, he probably hates that he needs to take his son there. Ugh. Her poor son. That visit will be a complete poop show. Know that. Sarah has so much that she wants to get off of her chest, like in family law court. She had so much that she wanted to say, she didn't even remember half of it. Her son, from the last call when she said she called her son. I called him and he said, hey mom, call me back in 30 minutes. So stupid me, I called back and he didn't answer. I called for 6 hours straight and he didn't answer. I know former husband told him not to answer. He probably said, oh, you know your mom's in jail. You don't have to answer her call if you don't want to. You know she totally wants to confront him too. Scary. We have talked about how Sarah doesn't have any emotions, no tears, no anger, just always like a snarky little, I don't know, I can't explain it, but she's just ice queen. I can't imagine what that first visit will be like. As a matter of fact, we're going to go over the second phone call and the third. We have covered the first phone call in our last episodes and some of the second, but we're going to dive into the second call on our next episode. This Sarah, oh Sarah. Thank you guys so much for taking that hour and a half ride with me to Lowell. I'll see you on the next episode so that we can dive into what Sarah is going through. Oh, you just don't understand. While she's at Lowell, in her own words. If you made it this far, you know I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye!